Hello, hello, TikTok. Hello, hello. Welcome back to your Daily Bite. Go ahead, come on in. We are going to have an interesting discussion today. So, welcome, welcome. Go ahead and come on in. Today, our discussion is going to be one that might raise some interesting conversation. I'm just going to say that. So, I'll put you guys right here. Got my notes all ready for you guys. It's going to be a good one today. How is everyone on this second day of the new year? How is everyone doing? So I do apologize for not being out here at 10 a.m. this morning, but if you've been following me for a while, you know that I am a grandmother of two very young boys, 8 and 5. And so this grandma has been up all night with two coughing boys, literally all night. When one would get calmed down with coughing and the honey started kicking in, the other one would start coughing and the honey would take a little, honey takes a little bit to kick in, right? So when you're using all natural remedies, um, they don't instantaneously work, but neither does medicine either. Medicine takes 35 to 45 minutes to actually hit the digestion system in order to instantaneously move into the bloodstream and start actually working. So that is why we were not here this morning at 10 a.m. That is why we're here at 1 p.m. This grandma still has to have her rest. Okay. And the biggest thing that we're going to talk about today is the flu. We're going to be talking about the flu and how it is rising fast. So, as usual, TikTok wants me to play their games, and I don't typically like playing their games, but hey, I guess we will follow their rules, right? Or get kicked off. I've had that happen. All right, so good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sassy Mimi. I see you, or I saw you. So we're going to talk about the flu today. We're going to talk about the rising numbers of flu cases. We're going to talk about pediatric flu, adult flu, all the above. So come on in. Let's have this conversation. What we're really going to talk about today is how your body has been giving you all the signals that you are not well and how you are not paying attention, and how that leads into flu, bronchitis, pneumonia, all the A, B, C's, and D's. Okay? All right. So here is what we are discussing today. All about the flu. I'm going to love this episode because I hope to create some controversy and conversation. That's what I'm looking for. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because so many people are about, let's go get the flu vaccine so that we can, keep ourselves, from getting really, really sick. Well, guess what? This year's strain, it's not covered. It's not covered by your little flu vaccine. So I'm not 100% against vaccines, guys, but I'm not 100% for vaccines. Okay. So, for those of you who are new here, my name is Michelle Rawls. I am a licensed nutritionist, a licensed nurse. I am also a certified diabetic education specialist, as well as a certified menopause coach. And I am this close to getting my plant-based nutrition coaching. So we'll finish that up hopefully by the end of January. I'm working on it. As I said, I am a very busy woman, okay? Not only do I take group coaching, but I have one-on-one coaching. I am a grandma of two small boys. Their dad is a full-time dad, so I help out in every way, shape, and form. So I've been up all night taking care of two small boys who have the cough. So they've had this cough for quite a while. And of course, I use all natural substances to heal. I do not use medication for healing. So if you know my story, you know that I was a chronic lymphocytic leukemia patient. I walked out of Western medicine signing myself out AMA when they told me to go make funeral arrangements, and healed myself through food. And that is what I teach here, is how to heal through food. So if that's you and you want to know how to do that, then stay right here. Today we're going to talk about the flu and the rising numbers and cases that are out here. Um, it is getting concerning, of course, for the medical world out here, but what could we have found in our signs and signals to know that it was actually coming? What can we do to actually take care of our eating habits to not have the flu, to keep ourselves, secure and keep the immune system strong? So we're going to talk about that today. Um, it is not always one of those things where we know exactly what's going on with our bodies. And that's what I teach here is how to recognize what your body is telling you. So right now we have the CDC saying, that there's elevation in flu, increasing numbers across the United States. I know that there was another death in the pediatric world today regarding flu. And I just want people to be very knowledgeable as people have been coming back and looking at the COVID numbers. Um, as we continue to look at those numbers and we continue to watch how these numbers are coming out from that time frame. I mean, guys, we're 5 years past COVID, okay? So these numbers, the documentation, all of this is out here now for you to visibly see. Now, do your research is what I'm saying. Do your research. Dive, dig deep, get to the real facts of the story. Did they really die from COVID or was it secondary to, so when we list a death in the medical world, we list it as primary diagnosis, secondary to, right? So COVID could have been the exasperator to the diabetes. COVID could have been the exasperator to heart disease that was already in play. So, did they really die of COVID? Did they really die of heart disease? Okay, watch your numbers, do your research, because this is the same situation for the flu virus. All right, same situation. These numbers are going to be exasperated. Right now, the report says 7.5 million illnesses, currently 81,000 hospitalizations, and 3,100 deaths this season thus far. So, and rising. Now, that's the supposed numbers, okay? You do your research. I'm just giving you what is out there right now. The real numbers will start rolling in months later after the season is over. And again, we will readdress this when that season is over. And then we'll reference back to this podcast so that we can actually look at the actual numbers versus what they're putting out here right now. So, all right, let's move on to the most recent week. We've had 19,000 lab confirmed flu cases. All right. Hospital admissions on top of that, around 19,000 were reported. Pediatric deaths have been reported even more so. So I get it. The hospitals are full. I would not even want to be on the nursing floor right now. Absolutely not. No way. Don't want to be in that realm of things. Don't want to be getting my butt kicked and overworked. Not doing it. So I am very grateful I'm not on the floor. But to all of my nursing brothers and sisters out there, I love you. I'm grateful for you. I'm so glad you're still sticking with it. God bless you and keep doing what you're doing. If your heart is still in it, go for it. I'm sorry, my heart is not in being in the hospital settings and dealing with all that the administrative side makes us deal with. So, and I know you guys are being pushed. You're being pushed hard. Many of you live in many threatening administrative situations, and that's not even something I will tolerate. So, best I left the floor when I did, because I am not one to listen and deal with, an administrative level of a hospital or an administrator thinking, that they can dictate what, care can go and things like that. But unfortunately, that is our medical world. Our medical world is a business. This is a business, okay? This is not for you to get well. This is a business for them to keep that constant flow of medication going out, of the traffic coming in, of people being able to turn around and continuously be sick or be with some type of diagnosis. So, are you capable of handling your own health through good nutrition and food? Absolutely. I'm proof of that. 100% proof of that. And I have a whole community of people who have healed themselves through food, cancer free to this day. And we all enjoy what we've been able to be given by God. 100%. All right. So let's go ahead and let's talk about your immune system, what foods we can utilize. If you're ready to dive into the conversation, here's what I do here. If you want to be in on the conversation, you can put in the comments what your topic is that you would love to talk about. I'd be more than happy to bring you on. But here is how my podcast works, okay? If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can go to my website and you can pick one of my packages to come in on, okay? I have several free packages you can come in on. You can get your questions answered. You can come in on the conversation and you can be heard and be seen. I'm all for that. Just go to my website. But when I'm on here, unless I know that you're going to talk about the topic we're about or the nutrition education that I'm providing, I will bring you on. Other than that, I will not bring you on. I've been through too much of the BS with people coming in and just being, very rude and inappropriate. I'm not all about it. Okay. So there's that. I'm here to help people. And that is what I'm here to do. So I could spend my time doing many other things. I choose to come out here so that I can help people even further, have the education, have the results, have the actual supported documentation. You can follow me on any social media platform that you enjoy being on. I'm at Show Me Nourish on all social media platforms. You can come, you can be a part of those conversations, you can be in my groups, you can have the statistical data. I've always got third party studies coming in. I've also got studies from JAMA coming in all the time that I am always referencing. I'm always blogging. I'm always putting information out about. So again, if you're ready to take the next step and move forward in your healing process, by all means, this is where you want to be. And you want to do it naturally. You're not, you're ready to move out of Western medicine. You're ready to, start titrating off of the drugs. You're ready to start moving in a direction. And this is what upsets me about the medical world. They get everybody so programmed that you have to have these medications. God did not put us on this earth with medication of different values than the food he put on this earth. So if you're not eating from this earth, if you're not medicinally healing from this earth, then you're programmed per the medical world to be a part of that. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need the medical world. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 35 years. I've been a nutritionist for 35 years. Here's the thing. We do need medical when we need medical. But every day there's a way, a small bit that you can heal your body and move yourself in a better direction. And that's what I do right here. Okay. So if you want to be a part of that, let's have that conversation. Okay. All right. So today we're talking about the flu. We're talking about the rising number in cases. We're talking about the new statistical data out about the flu. We do know, according to the CDC, that the flu shot you all got this year, if you did get it, I would love to know that you got it. Just put it in the comments. Yes, I got it. If you did get the flu shot, I would love to know that you did. Have you had the flu? I want to know that as well. So if you've been someone who's been subjected to the flu this year, let me know. I'd love to know that, because I'd love to have this conversation with you as to what the response has been, what's your downtime, what were the signals that you did or did not notice, because we're going to talk about that. So our immune system doesn't just flip on a switch overnight, guys. It doesn't. This has been in the making through the process. And as you guys know, this past summer when I was on here, I was talking about how you needed to prepare your body, what foods you needed to be eating, how you needed to be eating them, the spices, the herbs that you needed to be putting into your body to protect your body before we came into the fall and winter months. Because there was already speculation out there that there would be a new flu variant this year. I was already being told, so take that where you want to go with it. I'm not here to put conspiracies out there. I'm just saying that there was already a prediction out there in the very beginning of the summertime that there would be a variant that possibly could come out with the flu that they did not cover in their vaccine strain. So that was already put out there. How interesting is that? Take it where you want to go with that. But our immune systems have been talking to us this entire time. Okay. So with that being said, your immune system didn't get attacked overnight. This has been building up over a course of time. And if you're not paying attention to the signs and symptoms, maybe you're not sick now, but if you've got these signs and symptoms, you need to be doing something different in your daily program, okay? Get yourself back on track. So here's the things that break us down. Stress, right? Who isn't under stress these days? Everything going on in this world, who is not under stress these days, okay? Nobody is stress free. But when the stress load becomes so strained, the body starts to break down mentally, physically, emotionally. Believe it or not, you may be saying, I'm the happiest person in the world right now, but I promise you, you're not. You're stressed. Your stress load is huge. Your nervous system is shot. And these are the things that take place in the breakdown process that starts these viruses on the attack. Okay? So, how do we actually, right now, at this point in time, what can we do to help our bodies and get ourselves at a better situation before it does attack us? Okay. All right. We're going to talk about the stress. We're going to talk about stress load. We're going to talk about hydration. Hydration is huge during this fall, winter, and spring months. Hydration is such a huge, huge factor. And then, of course, our nutrition. If our nutrition is not on point, then guess what happens? We have a huge situation where our body starts to break down, right? So if we're not putting in the right foods, if we're not eating the right foods, there are right foods to eat and there's wrong foods to eat. Not only that, but there are foods that you're eating that do not actually work for you. They actually work against you. And until you know those foods, and you know that they're not working for you and what does work for you, which is what I teach here, then uh, you need to be paying attention. That's what I'm trying to say right now. You need to be paying attention. All right. So when people say I got sick out of nowhere, what that means is that I didn't pay attention to the warning signs. Okay. You had warning signs. You had been given warning signs all along, and you just chose not to pay attention to those warning signs. So how about we go over those and we have a discussion on those warning signs? All right. So early warning signs show up as in fatigue, chills. So I want to kind of give you a little bit of education about the chills. So have you recently, or can you remember a time when you did get sick, or you did have the flu, or you did have some type of cold or virus? You just kind of felt like you couldn't get the chill out of your body. It just really was in your bones and it was staying there. You're like, gosh, And then about 7 to 10 days later, you came down with something, whatever that may be. That was your warning sign. That was a very early warning sign. Sleeping longer than normal, that's another warning sign. So if you're coming home and you're just really tired, this is out of your normal routine, then that's a warning sign. Scratchy throat. If you've ever just noticed a small little tinge in the throat, something, that just kind of sets it in a direction, yeah, that's another early warning sign. So you need to be paying attention to that. Appetite changes. Now I'm going to go into appetite changes in a little bit of depth for you guys. So normal foods that you would typically eat, they may have a little bit of a funny taste to them. That's an early warning sign. Okay. So if you're eating atypical foods, And those atypical foods are having this little funny taste to it in the back of the mouth. That is an early warning sign that you've got some type of bug or something creeping into the system, and you need to get on top of that, and you need to start doing something nutritionally different. Okay. Something else that really happens in the appetite that changes is that we're just not as hungry, or we're just not in the mood for our atypical way that we do things. Okay. So when that happens, that is another early warning sign that there's a bug creeping in, there's something going on, the body's changing to some degree, and you really need to check your stress load at that point. You need to check your hydration at that point, and you need to be checking your sleep habits at that point. Okay. It's very, very important. All right. So again, sleep disruption. Let's talk about the sleep disruption. So if you're typically someone who goes to bed 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, okay, that's normal. But you're waking up 2, 3 in the morning, that's a concern. That is number one. When you're waking up out of a normal sleep pattern, that is disruptive to the body. That is disruptive to the mind. So that's a mental breakdown that starts to occur. Then you have the digestion side as well. So when you're waking up in the middle of the night, the digestion is off. That is an early warning sign. When that digestion is off like that, you need to start really paying attention. Typically, that is a hydration issue. Okay. So that means you're not getting hydrated enough throughout the day. You're not pushing enough fluids to get you through the day. I know, I totally get it. We love our coffee. We love our soda. We love our tea. We love our monsters. We love our other drinks, right? But if you are not putting in the water, and guys, if you haven't read the latest data on water, 8 cups a day, only thing you're doing with 8 cups a day of water is you're putting yourself in front of a nice little kidney doctor in the very near future. Okay. So again, it's a business. It is a business. So 8 cups a day, that was put out there on the market many, many years ago because we thought that that was how we hydrated. Okay. But all that was a nice little business for the nephrologist. All right. Your kidney doctors, nephrology, kidney, for them to turn around and be able to have a nice little, piece of the action. Really, that's what it was. So hydration just needs to be half of your body weight. Okay. So if you're 200 pounds, you need 100 ounces of water a day throughout the day. Okay. Not all at once. Okay. That's volume overload. That can actually shut down the heart. It can cause, congestive heart failure. So hydration throughout the day. All right. So be very, 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 very careful. And I say that, lightly, to be careful. Hydration is still a huge thing. I mean, I have a 76-year-old mother. She's been in the hospital several times due to dehydration. We are really trying to get her to understand why hydration is so important. It's not easy to get people to understand hydration. And on top of that, guess what? Because she wasn't hydrating and she wasn't paying attention to the early warning signs, she wound up with the flu. So here we are. And yes, she had a flu vaccine. I'm just saying. So, you know, do your research. Do your research. I think it's very interesting that before, summer really kicked off, they already knew that there was going to be um, a different flu variant. Yeah, it's called subclade K. That's what it's called right now. All right, so I've given you the early warning signs that your body is showing you that there's something going on, right? So we have sleep disorientation, or we're up in the middle of the night. We have fatigue. We have the chills. We have all of the appetite changes. We have the aches. You do have aches and the headaches. If you're not someone who's normally with headaches and they start rolling in, that is another early warning sign that you've got some type of bug or flu virus or some type of virus coming your way. Not necessarily flu, but I'm just saying you've got some type of virus coming your way. So if you're not paying attention to these early warning signs, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you start paying attention. This is called awareness to our bodies. This is what I teach here at Show Me Nourish, is how to be very aware of our body, to know what foods work and what foods don't work for you. What works for me does not work for you, and what works for you does not work for me. Okay? We don't eat the same way, we don't eat the same food. So, what I do is very tailored to the individual. Again, 100% all food. I help you, if you're ready, I help you titrate off of medication and eat from pure food. Nourish the body at the food level. All right. All right. So moving on. We've got a few more minutes here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to stay hydrated as well. So, like I said, I've been up and down all night long with two grandbabies with the cough, this croupy cough. So we are treating naturally with honey at this point. I have a mixture of honey, turmeric, and ginger. That is what we are currently utilizing. So they're responding well, which I'm really glad to see. So we do not use any medication over here on this side of my tracks. So it's all food. So just to kind of give you some insight on that, they've had a cough for a little bit, not very long, but enough for me to be concerned. We started with the honey. We're shoving, vitamin C in them, which is oranges, lemons, things like that, because they love fruit and they love their veggies. So we've been doing cantaloupe. We've been doing watermelon. I had some watermelon shipped in from another state when we got our shipment in. Like I said, if you're not familiar with what I do here, I work with farmers across the United States to see to it that if you're ready to move yourself out of the medical world and put yourself into a nutritional world, eating farm to table, I connect you with local farmers in your state. And we build a plan for you to be able to nutritionally heal. We can work as a group or we can work one on one. That's your choice. You can always go to showmenourish.com and you can choose a package and come in. So if you're ready, let's do it. Let's make it happen. If you're wanting something different in 2026, this is the year to make that happen. Anyway, so the boys have had a little bit of a croupy cough. We've been using honey, ginger, and turmeric. Of course, I cook with all that on a regular basis. And then we've been pushing oranges, lemons. I just had some watermelon shipped in from another area of the United States. Really nice too. It was very juicy this morning, and they loved every moment of it. Also had some cantaloupe shipped in from another area of the United States, and we got that yesterday as well. So they love their cantaloupe. Again, all great properties: vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin E, all the above. So seeing to it that they get those in there. Plus, they have an all-natural vitamin that I provide them every single day as well. So they're responding very well. Whatever this little croupy cough is, it'll go away here soon. But I have been up and down all night with it. So, and unfortunately, my 8-year-old grandbaby, he has bloody noses very easily. So that's kind of what kicked his off, was the coughing. So he had a bloody nose. All right. So let's talk about 3 non-negotiables that need to be at your table every single time you eat. All right. And if you put these 3 things in play every single time you eat, you will protect, you will build your immune system, and you will keep yourself even stronger, right? So keep those vitamin C fruits coming. Keep your veggies, your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your Brussels sprouts, your leafy greens, keep those coming. Now, again, lettuce is an issue. So if you're not doing like your spring mixes, spinach, do those, not the others. All right, so let's talk about the 3 things. The 3 things are protein. So, like I've been here before and spoken upon, protein must be at the 12 o'clock hour of your plate. When we design your plate, It should be protein at the 12 o'clock hour, and you should have a good 20 to 30 grams of protein sitting on that plate at the 12 o'clock hour, right? Ladies, you need 100 grams of protein a day. Men, you need 70 to 80 grams of protein a day, depending on how you're working out, how you're actually functioning in your day. Again, these are all things that we talk about when you come into our group coaching, or you can get the one-on-one coaching with me. All right. At the 3 o'clock hour of your plate, you need to be having a fiber, some type of fiber. Okay. Again, these are all things that are discussed in our group coaching. I go over the fiber foods. I go over your protein. I'm plant-based protein. Most of the people in my house are carnivores. I'm the only one that's not. Funny, because my two grandbabies are huge into their meat. They love their meat, and they're the two that's sick. So, yep. Imagine that. Right. So, it is what it is. You can be the judge of that. I know what I think, and I know what I know. But I'm not here either way to judge. If you like your meat, great. I'm plant-based. If you're plant-based, awesome too. Plant-based for me is what actually healed my body from cancer. I went completely vegan, and I healed myself 100% from cancer, not with any kind of medication. I signed myself out AMA when they told me to go make funeral arrangements. And I'm 11 years cancer free. On the 14th of January 2026, I'm 11 years cancer free. So I will be celebrating that day. Come and join that day with me. It's going to be a huge celebration. 11 years. Walked away from the medical world and said no more. All right, so we have 20 to 30 grams of protein at the 12 o'clock hour of our plate. We have fiber. All right, so we need a 3/4 cup to a cup of fiber sitting over here on this 3 o'clock hour. At our 6 o'clock hour of our plate, we need to have omega-3 fatty acids, right? Avocados, nuts, seeds, things like that. Get those omega-3 fatty acids rolling in. You must have them. Those are the 3 non-negotiables that need to be on your plate. Carbs. Do we need carbs? Absolutely, we need carbs, right? We need complex carbs, not simple carbs. So if you're pre-diabetic, diabetic, you need complex carbs, not simple carbs. Okay. So your sweet potatoes, things of that nature. All right. You want to know more? You can jump in on my daily plate that I host every Monday. So you can get to know more. You can have your questions answered. Okay. All right. I'm dropping things. Okay. All right. So again, protein. Protein is the building blocks to repair. That is why we need to be having 20 to 30 grams of protein on our plate at every meal. All right. Now, if you work out, that's a different story. If you don't work out, we can talk about that too. But if you've got some good exercise functioning going on, 20, 30 grams per plate. Fiber. Fiber supports your gut. Fiber supports your digestion. Fiber supports your colon. We've got a rise of colon cancer, and that is just really disturbing to know. I'm not going to tell my age, but anyway, back when I was a kid, colon cancer was just never heard of. It was very rare to hear of colon cancer. It was very rare to hear of anyone being a diabetic. And here we are many years down the road, and it's an everyday occurrence. 1 in 3 people are pre-diabetic, 1 in 5 are diabetic, and those are alarming numbers. Colon cancer is on the rise. So fiber is very, very huge in your diet need. Okay. Omega-3 fatty acids. What do we know about omega-3 fatty acids? We know that it is our brain health. So if you have a history in your family of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, you need to get on top of your omega-3 fatty acids, and you need to be consuming them on a daily basis. And if you're not, here's what happens. So when we are loaded in saturated fat, which I have a test that you can take to find out how loaded in saturated fat you really are. Doctors like to put out here that our little, HDL, LDL testing that we do, our cholesterol testing that we do is all that's needed. But the testing that's actually needed, I can show you quickly, but it's going to be a real quick one because I don't want TikTok to turn around and do what they did the last time they started halting my streaming. So this is a test that you can take. I hope you caught that. Because if I leave it up there any longer than that, TikTok will stream me down. So, because it's not part of their platform as far as you being able to get your hands on it. So, if you want to know more about how you can be testing for whether or not you're loaded in saturated fat, that is a test you can take. You can take it within your home. You can reach out to me. We can have that conversation. Here's the thing. When we're loaded in saturated fat, our brains are actually dehydrating. It's actually pulling and sucking from the brain. The more saturated you are, the more it pulls to the heart and it sucks from the brain. That's the best way to describe it so that you can get a real good picture of what saturated fat does to the body. Okay? Doesn't just go into the heart and clog the arteries. It literally sucks the nutrition out of the brain. Okay? Hence your Alzheimer's and your Parkinson's disease. So if you've got that history in your family, pay attention, get a test, get yourself tested, get the knowledge of how saturated in fat you are. Your ratio of omega-3 to saturated fat, it should be 3 omega-3 to 1 saturated fat, okay, to be on the balanced side. So I'll show this one more time, but it'll be very, very quick. This is the test that you can take at home. You can reach out to me, and I will, okay? I don't want TikTok streaming me down like they did the last time. So you can reach out and you can have that conversation. All right. So again, omega-3s help with response and recovery. All right. So, all right. So if you're a plant-based person, lentils like veggie soups, topped with flaxseed and hemp hearts, that's a great food combo to put together so that you've got a good balanced meal. Tofu and tempeh, like your stir fries, your cruciferous, vegetables, your chia puddings, all great fiber in there, omega-3 fatty acids as well. You've got your bean bowls with your greens, your walnuts, your hemp hearts, your flax seeds, all of that. You should be putting that more so into your diet. Again, protection. We're trying to protect the body. We're trying to get a good, healthy, balanced meal in there. And again, not all of these foods work for everyone. We have to find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Okay? Believe me, there's a lot of lessons to learn. You're currently eating foods that are not good for your body. Your body's not responding well, but you're just so used to how it happens that you're just not paying attention. So these are the things that we learn here at Show Me Nourish that I teach. All right. Wrapping this up. Again, I'm here to answer your questions. So if you've got questions, put them in those comments. Or again, you can reach out to me. You can always reach out to me and have those conversations. Just go up to my website, put your question in there, and we'll get it answered for you. All right. So again, if you're feeling any kind of symptoms of fatigue, chills, headache, sore throat, scratchy throat, anything of that nature, and you've been feeling this off and on, something has been trying to attack your body. Stress loads too much. Let's find a way to bring that stress load down and get it under control so that there's more balance in your nutrition, there's more balance in your mental and emotional health. Okay, there are ways to nutritionally bring that under control and help you feel better. Okay, this is about increasing your energy. This is about getting your life back. This is about taking control. Okay, back over yourself. All right. All right. Any more questions with anyone? Does anybody have any questions? Again, if you would like to get a specific question tailored to the day of this podcast, you can do that. All you need to do is reach out on showmenourish.com. Give us your question. Choose which package you would like to put your question under, and we will get you, your question answered. Or you can come. You have a choice to come here live with me and have that conversation. You have a choice to come in here and get some coaching from me as well, and we can spend this time frame on your coaching side of things. So if that's something you'd like to do, just go to showmenourish.com and get your question in the queue. All right, guys. So here is what I want to leave you with today. I hope you learned something from today. That is what I hope you took from here. Signs and symptoms are always Our bodies is always showing us. Okay? Always. Our body is always showing us how we are responding. If we're paying attention is one thing. If we're not paying attention, of course, that's a different story. But I've given you all the signs and signals to early onset of a virus or a flu or anything coming on. I hope that you take that back and pay attention to that. Again, if you're looking to take that next step, start titrating off of medication, start putting yourself in a healthier situation, ready to lose the weight, ready to move forward, and do it the right way that's long lasting. Guys, I lost 90 pounds 12 years ago. Okay, 12 years ago, and I've kept it off since. 90 pounds. I've not put 1 pound back on. You can do it, and it's all through food. All through food, and I will show you how. All right, guys, that was your daily bite for today. Remember, healing one bite at a time. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. 9 a.m. is your daily bite with a little tidbit of information telling you what we're going to talk about today. And at 10 a.m., I come and I answer your questions. All right, guys, have a beautiful and wonderful day.